The Minecraft Ender Dragon is one of the biggest mobs in the game, but it also seems to be the final boss, and also not the strongest mob. Despite all the mysteries about the Ender Dragon, there are still some things that we know. So, we're exploring Ender Dragon facts today, that's right. Alright, let's do it. In at 10, the Wingspan. It's been pretty well established at this point that one block in Minecraft is equal to 1 meter cubed, making it absolutely huge in reality. Like, one block is over 3 feet tall, wide, and deep, making our jumping in game a whole lot more impressive. But thanks to this measuring metric, we have a whole world of real world comparisons that we can actually make. Between all things, but most importantly for this list, between the dragon. The dragon's width is listed as 16 blocks, meaning the wingspan for this mother hubber is 16 meters. To put that into context, 16 meters is longer than a telephone pole. It's longer than a semi-trailer, longer than the Hollywood sign, longer than a brachiosaurus is tall, and 3 times taller than a giraffe. That's massive. Imagine that thing flying at you in real life, okay? You'd be gobsmacked. And that's also its length and width. It's also 16 blocks long. So the dragon from head to tail is about the same size as its wings, which is absolutely crazy. In at 9, weak wings. But the wingspan isn't the only thing that's surprising about these wings. The wings for this size of dragon are actually surprisingly weak, only dealing 3 damage in easy mode and 7 in hard, which is 1.5 or 3.5 hearts, which in comparison to other monsters that isn't much. Skeletons on easy mode do up to 4 damage and 5 on hard, meaning that they're slightly weaker, but on easy, they can interestingly enough be stronger. Wither skeletons deal 5 on easy and 12 on hard, meaning that they're always stronger than the Ender Dragon's wings. But so like, what's the deal here? Why is this huge plain looking thing missing arm day? Like Mr. Noodle Arms has the same strength as me. We have the same body type, at least when it comes to arms apparently. Like bro, step up your game. You have a whole damn dimension to yourself. Why are you weaker than a damn skeleton? Up yourself, you know, level up, do some push-ups. Just chill on an obsidian pillar, do some push-ups, dude. Come on. What's your excuse? You're a dragon. I have plenty of excuses. Inundate Health. The Ender Dragon has 200 health points, or 100 hearts. They're the same thing, since each heart is equal to 2 HP, thanks to half hearts. Which when it was introduced made it the strongest mob in the game, until the Wither was added, which is now the strongest mob. At least until the Warden is added. Then it will become the strongest in Java Edition, but the Wither has 600 health in Bedrock Edition, which is absolutely nuts. But honestly, 100 hearts is a lot of damage. If you were punching the dragon like I plan to this week in my hardcore series, it would take you 200 critical punches to actually kill it. Not to mention the end crystals that sit on top of pillars that constantly regenerate the dragon's health, which is why you need to destroy them before you actually have a chance at stopping them. But either way, despite being commonly accepted as the final boss of the game, living in a dimension literally called the End, for some reason they're still not the most powerful boss, and soon enough they won't even be the most powerful mob, even though they are able to kill the Wither when you put it into a 1v1 battle. In at 7, resummoning. Players can resummon the dragon by placing 4 end crystals at the edges of the end portal, or the exit end portal, 1 on each side. When the dragon is resummoned, the 4 end crystals point to the top of each pillar, casting off a series of explosions that reset the obsidian pillars, the iron bars, and the end crystals. The top of each pillar then explodes, destroying any player-placed blocks, and eventually all the crystals will point to the center, and then the dragon will spawn there. The 4 crystals placed around the exit portal then explode. If the player does not pick up the dragon egg and then starts to resummon the dragon egg will disappear, which means that the egg is not needed to summon the dragon again, so get it before you end up resummoning it. If a dragon goes through an end gateway as well, another immediately spawns at 01280 while the other dragon flies back, which is interesting and something that I didn't think was possible, but I guess since the Ender Dragon flies through every block, I guess it does make sense, and it is possible that they fly through a gateway. Fleeing just like dragons from Skyrim, buggers. And at 6, Dragon Egg. The Dragon Egg is a decorative item or a trophy item and is the rarest item obtainable in game, as it generates only once in Java Edition and twice in Bedrock. In Java Edition, a single Dragon Egg is generated on top of the exit portal when the first Ender Dragon is defeated. In Bedrock Edition, 2 Dragon Eggs generate on top of the exit portal, one for when you kill the first dragon, and another if you resummon it and kill it again. The Dragon Egg usually cannot be mined directly, as trying to do so will cause it to teleport within a 31 by 15 by 31 volume volume area centered on the egg. With more locations towards the center, it will teleport closer to the center of that area. And if all air blocks in that area are filled so that there is nowhere for the egg to teleport to, or if it fails to find an air block after 1,000 attempts at teleporting, it can be mined. The dragon egg is a gravity affected block and drops as an item when pushed by a piston, or if it falls onto a block that is less than a full block tall, such as a torch or a bottom slab. To cause the egg to teleport, just press left click when you're playing in survival or adventure mode. You have to press right click in creative, and it will teleport to an air block nearby, or up to 7 blocks vertically and 15 horizontally, creating the same particles as Endermen. It may teleport into the air and subsequently fall down to the ground, since again they forcefully obey gravity. And if you end up filling all the air blocks, you can actually mine it with your fist, which is kinda nuts. So if you want to be able to do that, you have to fill the area of 15 blocks north, south, east, and west, and then 7 blocks up and down. Or I guess fill it with water, at least. Halfway through into number 5, behavior. During the battle with the Ender Dragon, unique music called boss will start to play. The edge of the screen darkens and black fog appears. This happens for as long as the player fights the dragon, except when there is no player within 190 blocks from where the dragon spawns. The Ender Dragon has a light purple health bar that appears at the top of the player's screen, and her health is frequently restored by nearby end crystals, indicated by a magical white beam connecting the dragon to the crystal. Destroying an end crystal that is actively healing a dragon will cause 10 damage to it, meaning 5 hearts. The dragon can take damage only from explosions and player-based damage, and takes damage of 1 to the 4th power times the normal damage plus 1 when hit on any body part that isn't her head, making her the most resilient mob in the game. Suffocation is completely non-applicable, as she either phases through or immediately destroys any blocks she touches, and interestingly enough, this is just due to the complexity of making an AI that could navigate a procedurally generated world. So yeah, that's the only reason they destroy everything. The dragon is also immune to all status effects, including wither. And at 4, blocks. The Ender Dragon is a flying mob, which cannot actually stand on the ground, so it's constantly in motion. It flies around the main end island while fighting the player, and the dragon can pass through all blocks, destroying almost all types, but can still be affected by flowing water, lava, and bubble columns. So that's kind of weird. It'd be kind of funny to see an Ender Dragon fly into water and then get shot up. Blocks not destroyed are those that naturally generate on the end island, and those that are intended to be indestructible, except for crying obsidian and respawn anchors. These blocks include barriers, bedrock, command blocks, crying obsidian, end stone, end portal blocks, end portal frames, end gateways, iron bars, light blocks coming in 1.19, obsidian, reinforced deep slate also coming in 1.19, respawn anchors, and structure blocks. Interestingly enough, the dragon will also destroy chorus fruit trees, which is probably why there aren't any that remain on the main island. Anything else the dragon flies through will also be destroyed. Destroyed blocks are not dropped, although containers such as chests and dispensers but not shulker boxes will drop their contents. Shulker boxes don't, because when you break a shulker box you get the shulker box, not the items inside. Getting close to the end into number 3, attacks. The dragon never targets any entity but a player, but other mobs may turn hostile towards the dragon when struck, which is why you'll sometimes see Endermen chasing the dragon, because they got caught in the collateral while it was coming after you. Any entities hit by her wings will deal 5 damage, or 10 damage if it's hit by her head, and in Java Edition, those that do so are thrown into the air, sometimes to fatal heights, or sometimes even off the island. Neither of these effects is applied for half a second after the dragon takes damage, so damaging the dragon at the right time could actually save you from getting flung up. The Ender Dragon also has 4 main states of behavior: guarding, where it's circling the ring of obsidian pillars, either on the outside if there are still end crystals, or the inside if all of them are destroyed; strafing, where upon the destruction of an end crystal the dragon will switch to strafing, which is as soon as she is within 64 blocks, she will shoot a fireball at the player. The dragon resumes circling after that state, because of course it goddamn does, it's a dragon, why do I hate these things? Diving, where the dragon dives onto the player's location, taken at the start of the dive, and then the dragon will resume circling again after this, whether or not she actually hit the player. And then perching, where they fly to the center of the bedrock pillar and rest, giving her immunity to arrows, and in Java Edition, thrown tridents. But ultimately, into number 2, advancements. The dragon is linked to 7 different advancements in the game. The first being Free the End, which simply involves killing the dragon. The next being the next generation, requiring you to hold the egg, which in Java Edition can only be done before you resummon, which just so happens to be another advancement called the End Again. If you collect the dragon's breath attack inside of a glass glass bottle, typically done to make lingering potions. You get the You Need a Mint advancement, and the dragon is also included in the Monsters Hunted challenge, which requires you to kill one of basically every monster in the game, including the Blaze, Cave Spider, Creeper, Drowned, Elder Guardian, Ender Dragon, Endermen, Endermite, Evoker, Ghast, Guardian, Hoglin, Husk, Magma Cube, Phantom, Piglin, Piglin Brute, Pillager, Ravager, Shulker, Silverfish, Skeleton, Slime, Spider, Stray, Vex, Vindicator, Witch, Wither Skeleton, Zombie, Zombie Villager, and Zombified Piglin. But interestingly enough, if you don't kill any other monster in the game somehow and you only kill the Ender Dragon, you will get the Monster Hunter achievement, which is weird but also kind of understandable because it's a monster and you hunted it. But it's kind of crazy to think that you went the whole game without killing anything, but then you killed the dragon, which it's also involved in the It's a Plane advancement where you just look at it through a spyglass. And finally, in number 1, Gene. Believe it or not, but the Ender Dragon actually has a name. Yes, in a Reddit post from when the Ender Dragon was first introduced, Notch confirmed that the Ender Dragon was female by calling it she, and responded to a question asking if she had a name along the lines of Steve. His response was, Jean? So technically speaking, alright, the Ender Dragon is a female and has a name. Then Dinnerbone seemed to confirm the name, but reneged on the gender assignment, saying, quote, okay, you guys read way too much into me calling the dragon a him. Let's pretend the gender is assigned based on your world's random seed. However, the name confirmation came after DocM77, a member of the Hermitcraft server, asked at Dinnerbone, what? Her name is Gilda, no doubt about that, man. To which Dinnerbone replied, officially I think it's Jean? So if you want to say the dragon has a name, you have to include the fact that there is a question mark at the end of the name, because he put Jean question mark in quotation marks. So yeah, deal with it, okay? And technically, currently, the gender of the dragon depends on the seed of your world, okay? So accept it and stop getting mad at Jay for not calling it a she, okay? It's a dragon in a video game made of blocks. Does it really matter? No. That's all the time we have for today, friends. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been Showerman the Cheese King, and I'll see you in another video.
You're talking about dragons and you don't even got your boy Crafted Jay with you?
Apparently Jay's a dragon now.